Okay, hello, welcome. So this is going to be my literacy signature assignment. I'm improving reading comprehension through collaboration. I'm really huge on collaborating. I think collaboration with a lot of different team members on our site really enhances growth, but also improves the environment and the culture where everybody's, it's a win-win for everybody. So, my name is Esmeralda Bourne. I'm excited to share my literacy assignment with you. This project was implemented in my 3rd grade classroom at Rosemont Elementary, and it focuses on building comprehension through small group instruction and collaborative support from my site team. Alright, so project overview. The objective was to improve 3rd grade reading comprehension through targeted instruction. The target group was 5 students reading below grade level, and it also included ELs and students with decoding difficulties, and the timeline, we took about 3 weeks to do this. Our 3-week initiative focused on inference, main idea, and citing evidence, skills directly tied to comprehension. I also paid close attention to the needs of English learners and students showing signs of dyslexia. So, collaboration with stakeholders. The project couldn't have happened without collaboration. I partnered with the school's interventionists who co-planned lessons and helped interpret student progress, and with our after-school program director who built aligned activities into the extended day. We met weekly to ensure our strategies were aligned and reinforcing one another. This helped students experience consistent support both during class and after school. So here's the instructional design. We had small group instruction 3 times a week. Strategies were think aloud, sentence frames, graphic organizers, our after school partner reading, and text-based games, and then focus skills were inference, main idea, text evidence. So during the instructional phase, I worked with students in 20-minute small group sessions 3 times a week. We used the think alouds, I'm going to be redundant, but basically we used all of those. So, a part of the California dyslexia guidelines were that I had used were decodable text and repeated readings, visual aids, and color-coded organizers, explicit instruction in vocabulary and structure, multisensory activities supported by the after-school program. These multisensory and explicit techniques help students organize their thoughts and build confidence. The after-school team also supported these strategies to ensure continuity of support. So, the student outcomes. So based off of this, a lot of the strategies that we did, because I really liked how with the collaboration, when I met with the interventionist, we sat down and I would go back and forth. Well, it's like, okay, I tried this strategy when I was focusing on phonics and stuff like that, and I noticed that the student was struggling with the way they put the order of, the spelling or the reading. They kind of were mixing things up. And so when I sat down with our interventionist, we were able to go back and forth based off of different studies and books that we have read, and we tried different ideas, and our interventionist was happy to help, built out a lesson plan when we did those small group back table sessions and stuff. And what was great about our after school program director, we all kind of chimed in. Sometimes we'd meet together, sometimes we'd meet individually, and she would continue on letting her, the students that were in the after school program with that particular teacher, we got together, we collaborated and made sure that they had these multi-sensory tools and games to help them engage and expand on the continuous learning growth. So with that said, the outcomes ended up being, for outcome 1, we had an increased confidence using text evidence. Outcome 2, 1 EL student moved up a reading level. Outcome 3, fluency improved for decoding challenge student. And then outcome 4, positive engagement from all 5 students. So they were excited, especially with after school program. They love the games, they love the engagement and the interaction, because a lot of the students who don't have that support at home, it's great for them to have it, here at school again, because a lot of them, school is a routine and a normalcy for them. All right, so reflective analysis. So this experience reminded me of the power of collaboration. Meeting regularly, with colleagues allowed us to respond quickly to student needs and adjust instruction as needed. It also pushed me to use data more effectively, not just to identify gaps, but to plan specific supports. So overall, I've grown in my ability to lead small group instruction and work as part of a team to boost student literacy outcomes. So a lot of the key components were collaboration builds stronger instructional decisions, grew in using data to drive targeted supports, reinforced the value of shared responsibility, and will continue building homeschool connections. All right, so these are just, you guys are more than welcome to ask your own questions or chime in as far as what I reply, but these are just, I figured I would use these as starting points for maybe some questions to kind of open up the floor to what you guys want to discuss or your feelings about it. But on question 1, I had would have said what supports worked best for your struggling readers. And for me personally, when I was in that small group table doing the detailed instruction, I was able to target the students' needs. So I was able to identify, so I was continuously assessing, continuously doing small interventions targeted towards their needs, and it allowed me to continue to manipulate and then come back to the drawing board with my team to figure out what the needs were and how we can continue to get that student to grow. What are do any of you guys have want to chime in on any of question 1?
I'll chime in. For me, as the interventionist, I understand that regular teaching isn't going to reach all kids. So what I do is I modify my teaching to activate different synapses in the brain through music, through movement, through repetition, especially with the kids with dyslexia, using different colors, different fonts, sizes of fonts. All of that will help engage different parts of the brain, and it'll trigger kids to be able to pick up something that they might not have otherwise.
Right. Yeah. Any others?
I'll just add as far as just the strategy, the struggling, what works best. One of the things that we saw that were provided from some of the chunked reading samples was the large and small text. So
yeah,
to kind of help the students. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so number 2, a question that I had put up was, how do your after school or intervention programs reinforce classroom instruction? Well, this is great. The first time I met the after school program director, I was just like, wow, what an amazing tool and resource, especially because of our demographics here at our site. We have a really low socioeconomic status here, and we have a lot of programs that foster students with these needs, and a lot of them just don't have the support at home with busy families that are working, or just don't have the tools or the resources to help their students when it comes to this growth. So huge kudos to after school program director and her team, because being able to extend this and share these strategies allowed me to see this growth through the outcomes based off of the extension. So I think it's a win-win to, you know, again, that's why my key focus was collaboration, because without a solid team, you know, this would have never happened. It takes a village. You know, that saying is so true.
I'm like, I'll start on this one.
Yeah.
I think it was great to be included because not only do we have our interventionist who does have those different approaches, so to support students, and then of course having ideas on what that might look like in an after-school setting versus your classroom.
Right.
And so giving me ideas, you giving me ideas how to work, how to support what you guys are doing so that it can be extended, because having these kiddos here in the program means there's a need. And so why not do this, right? So, and then I also just want to highlight that some of these interventions, and then you coming in and showing and modeling how to do these to these instructors so that we are being efficient in the process, right? So that was the other thing, and it actually supported other students as well. So it grew and it affected everybody in a positive way. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's just like an extension, like a tool, once you have a tool and a resource, because me too, I'm still learning. Like I continuously, you know, even through you guys have great ideas. I piggyback. I feel like just that continuous piggybacking and like, hey, well, like, you know, bouncing these ideas off, it's just so great. And it's just like, why wouldn't? Because in a sense, we're all a team, we're all a family, we're all a village, and we're here. We all of us have a common interest, which is to get these students to be where they need to be at growth-wise. So.
And I'll add into that, our goal as intervention and after school is to support what you're doing in the classroom. So however we can adjust and modify to support what the kids that need the help so that they'll be more successful in your classroom. That's our goal.
Right.
So that we all can collaborate and work together.
Yeah, I'm all pro collaboration because you just don't feel alone out there. You feel like you have like a huge support system and that weight lifted off your shoulder. And when you do see these kids have this growth in their needs, it's just like amazing to see. So, all right. So I just wanted to give you guys like you guys seen this before, but these are just some of the. I think graphic organizers are a huge like part into helping them. Put down their ideas, put down their thought processes. So this helped out a lot with our ELs and also like with dyslexia, because not only that, I can see when they write down stuff, I can see where their thought process is. So it's just kind of like a navigation tool, like I can assess and see what's going on, but it also kind of like guides them into, you know, putting down their thoughts and activating their prior knowledge and supporting it with evidence and all that jazz. So yeah, so that's just a part of the graphic organizers. And then here was the data from those 5 students, so you can see that they did have some growth there. And you know, I feel like even though like some of them, I mean, it looks bigger on the chart, but I mean, some growth is better than no growth. So I feel like this was like a huge step, you know, and that's why I made it big like that, just because it takes time, you know, and I feel like with the tools and the resources that we have, it's gonna make a difference if we continue to work together and collaborate with one another. Hopefully we can just get those scores up to CAS-wise. So
and what's important to see with that is every one of them made progress.
Exactly.
Significant progress.
Exactly.
Too bad we couldn't collect on everybody else. That was me, you know.
Exactly. And just like keep upping it, making it. But pats on everybody else's back. So, so yeah. With that said, so with that snapshot being showed, thank you for listening. This project reminded me that targeted instruction and collaboration with school teams can truly make a difference. I'm excited to carry this work forward and continue building a culture of literacy in my classroom, but not only in my classroom, because hence collaboration, my site as well. So thank you guys.